Governor Doye has informed heads of security agencies in the state to tighten their operations to prevent any breach of peace. Now, Diri gave the order during the monthly Bayelsa State Security Council meeting in Yenagoa, where he banned anyone or group from using any state-owned premises or facility to host a solidarity rally in honor of the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike.
And the Rivers State Sole Administrator's move to suspend political appointees and officials has drawn some backlash, especially from suspended Governor Fubara's camp. Well, on Wednesday, Administrator Ibo Kite Bas suspended all political office holders and appointees, including chairmen and members of boards, councils, of agencies, commissions, institutions, and parastatals. But critics say the suspension of officials in commissions and parastatals is against the law, as they were elected for a 5-year term.
Now let's cross live to Port Harcourt and speak to Celestine Ogolo, who is a former general manager of the Tide newspaper. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. First, let's get your opinion on the sole administrator's latest action, sacking all appointed office holders and, of course, so many SSG, the chief of staff, commissioners, agencies, and what have you. What are your thoughts towards that? Is this a state capture like we're hearing from the state, the John Nation?
Well, thank you first and foremost for having me on this program. The sacking or suspension of political office holders came to me and so many other Rivers people as a big surprise. Surprise in the sense that this is a state that is peaceful. The sole administrator came in and confirmed that himself, that the state is peaceful. So what is the essence of going further to suspend political office holders? To my mind, and to so many other Rivers people, it's even an attempt to heighten tension, which is really unnecessary. Because ordinarily, Rivers people who are still feeling the heat of this state of emergency would expect that the sole administrator will do all that is humanly possible to maintain the peace here. But by doing what he is doing, suspending political office holders, he is trying to set the state back and people are agitated. That is the position that is in place now. Okay,
when you say Rivers people are feeling the heat of what has happened in Rivers State, what exactly do you mean by that? And would you say this is a political purge, as some people are saying in some quarters?
I use the word heat because so many persons, just like me, were surprised over the declaration of a state of emergency, because there was really no reason, no need for the declaration of a state of emergency. That is the true fact of what is happening in Rivers State. And people are wondering, why will the government, federal government, especially President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, go the whole hog of declaring a state of emergency, suspending the state governor, his deputy, and members of the assembly? It's something that they couldn't have imagined, but it has happened right before us. Now the sole administrator is here. The expectation is that, well, you have 6 months. All that people expect is that you will work the peace. You will try to ensure that there is stability in the state. But by suspending these political office holders, one is wondering whether you're actually trying to maintain the peace or to heighten the tension. Ordinarily, I would have expected that the sole administrator will begin to do things that will bring economic development to the state and not to heighten tension. For instance, there is a 221 billion naira 12-kilometer all-swamp road being constructed, the Trans-Calabari Road. I expect the sole administrator to go there, see the site, see what is going on, and encourage the people of the state that he is going to go further to support this work started by Governor Fubara. I expected the sole administrator to go to Ebeda Omok Road, where the state government is committing 80 billion naira to construct a road that traverses 3 communities. See the extent of work. Promise the people that you are going to continue this work and fund it the way Governor Fubara has done. He has visited the State House of Assembly. He has seen the state of work going on there. Over 80% of the work completed, money fully paid to the contractor. These are things that he should continue to further, to give the people hope that he is actually here to make the peace and not to heighten tension. But unfortunately, this is not happening. Now, the dissolution of these boards the suspension of the political office holders is going to draw Rivers State back several years. And I say this because there are several instances to show. First and foremost, in the last 10 years, there was no foreign direct investment in Rivers State. The National Board of Statistics clearly showed that Rivers State did not have any foreign direct investment. Now what has Governor Fubara done? He set up a promotion investment agency. They are talking to investors. People are beginning to come. Rivers youths are beginning to have the hope that industries will come, jobs will be created, and then all of a sudden, you dissolve that board. Which investor will have the hope of coming back to Rivers State? That is just one instance. Talk about the model city that is being developed in Eleme. Which investor will now want to come when there is instability in the polity? These are the things that we expected the sole administrator to maintain. These are policies that have been reeled out by the state governor under Governor Sim Fubara to ensure that Rivers State bounces back economically. Now you dissolve the board. Investors who are supposed to come to revive the Songhai farm, placed on a 314 hectares space, the biggest farm in Rivers State, even Nigeria, which would provide jobs, provide economic growth for the state, is abandoned. Governor Fubara has invited investors. They have come in. They have looked at the project. They are about setting up. They are about taking off. Now you dissolve the agency that is in charge. What kind of message are you sending to the people of Rivers State? What kind of message are you sending to investors across the world? Because they will think that this is just rubbing up on Rivers State alone. Certainly not. This is also going to rub off on even Nigeria as a whole. No investor will have that confidence to come to Nigeria because for them, it's instability and instability alone. And that's not the message Rivers people want the sole administrator to create for the state.
Well, I'm sure you're aware that the sole administrator has been meeting with stakeholders in Rivers State, traditional leaders, some politicians and what have you. And he's been reassuring them that he will do the needful and make sure that there's peace, there's law and order in Rivers State so that the foreign direct investment you talk about can actually happen. Don't you think that he's sending the right signals to stakeholders in Rivers State?
Well, one thing is to say the talk and then to also walk the talk. You cannot on one hand be saying that you want to encourage investors to, and then on the other hand you are dissolving boards and agencies that have already to bring in the investors. They say money is a coward. It runs where there's war. So if investors have already been talked to, the investment promotion agency has kickstarted investment proposals, summits and all that, bringing investors, and then all of a sudden, you have a total disconnect. You dissolve the board, you suspend the officials. What kind of confidence are you giving to these investors that are already coming in? And it's not just in that one sector. You talk about the Rivers State Microfinance Agency, which has a 4 billion naira loan facility, which is given out to micro, small and medium enterprises. Now you dissolve the board of the Rivers State Microfinance Agency, and then people who are already at the verge of collecting loans will suffer. People who have collected loans and are due to pay back will not pay back, and then the state is going to lose more money because of a decision that is not in the interest of Rivers State. This is just one. Now you talk about the administration itself of the civil service, the populace and all that. You dissolve the Civil Service Commission. Workers, civil servants who are due for promotion will not be promoted. Those who are due for disciplinary actions nothing will happen. So there is a backward movement in the state because of this singular action that has been taken. And I think that this action was not properly thought out. This action was not properly considered. This action is an ill wind that will blow no one any good.
Well, the sole administrator does have the full backing of the president who appointed him. Yep. And there are questions raised whether he has the power and the legality to sack those boards that you have mentioned. The conversation continues definitely when it comes to Rivers crisis. Thank you so much, Celestine Ogolo, former general manager of the Tide newspaper, for being on the news tonight. We do appreciate your time.